Well, first of all, Lord, please give me energy and strength and everything for my guest today. Oh, Lord, I need a lot of energy. Hello and welcome to the Standpoint. Today, we are about to decode somebody. She's too complicated. You know, you can't... Listen, the truth is that most of the people who say they love her, they just can't... Those who say they hate her. I mean, I think they are trying very hard. Because when you meet her and you interact with her, I mean, she's the most lovable person, craziest person. Anyway, you get to meet her. My guest today is Lydia Forson, the one and only Lydia, the preacher's daughter. Osofoba, causing so much trouble. Today we get to know her one-on-one, and I promise you it's going to be a program that you will be happy you watched. Let me say thank you to GTP for my cloth. This is new style, you know, and then of course it was made for me by Ophelia Crossland Design. I'm so grateful to them always. My makeup product by Power Cosmetics and beautifully applied by Nax Beauty Studio. I always fix my hair at Exotic Trends. They are at Marina Mall, ANC Mall. They are all over the place. So thank you to all of them. We take a break. When we come back, I can't wait as I'm about to try to decode this preacher's daughter. We'll be back. Welcome back to the Standpoint. Yes, we are going to decode. But let me say thank you to our sponsors. That's GTP. GTP, say their style is ageless. Our pattern limitless and designs are endless. Our beauty never fades. GTP, timeless.
Carson's baby moments, sharing magic moments.
Ghana Oil Company and Winnipeg and Casa Goil. Good energy. Now my guest today, she's an actress. She's a writer. She's a playwright. She's a producer. She is crazy. She is beautiful. She is intelligent. She is educated. She is loving. And she's my sister, Lydia Forson.
Thank you. This is lovely.
You know, you've been on this program quite a few times.
I'm always nervous when I'm here.
But this time it is just me and you.
Whew.
Lydia Forson, which day were you born?
Wednesday.
Ekua.
Yes.
Kukua.
Kukua.
Bazio.
Oh.
What's your problem?
I don't have a problem. I don't. I'm just a happy person.
Why do you think that people misunderstand you?
You know, to be very honest, when I got into the industry and, you know, I used to get so much, you know, comments, it used to confuse me because those who've been to school with me, my friends and family, they'll tell you nothing about me has changed. But I think that I grew up a little, you know, sheltered from the ugliness of the world. I had amazing friends, family, people. I always had people who understood me. Then you get into show business and you realize that, you know, your society is not so receptive to the kind of person, you know. Like even it started with my sense of humor. Yeah. Like things I thought were hilarious. I'll be, oh, you didn't think it was funny? Is it just me? You know, what's going on here? But it's been a learning, you know, it's a learning experience for me.
You know, you just came into our world just like that. I mean, one time there's this Lydia Forson. She is a plus size, you know, she speaks well and she's a good actress. People started, then suddenly people just started hating on you. I mean, it's the insults, the tagging, the insinuations, name calling. What did you do wrong? Where did it begin? Where did you go wrong?
You know what? I like to say that when I was in University of Ghana, I took a course called creative writing. And, you know, it helped nurture my writing skills. And I used to write a lot on Facebook. By that time, you know, I was not Lydia Forson. So I was always writing. There's nothing new about the way I write. But, you know, when you become this actress, people start paying.
When you become the
Celebrity, people start paying more attention, you know, to you. And things that it would take me maybe 5 minutes to write, I never really thought through about the things I would write. So it was just like to my friends and, you know, me just being the witty person I am. Then social media, you know, social media happened. And then you realize that the way you interpret life is very different from how people do it. And then the media comes in, and depending on, you know, what agenda they have, like I could write the most basic thing, and depending on the angle the person who goes to report it takes, there's like people meet me and they're like, I didn't know you were this person. I'm like, what did you think, you know, I was? And then, you know, through that, I started learning that I'm in a society where women are not expected to necessarily behave, you know, like I do. If I have a problem with someone, I have no qualms with addressing it. It doesn't mean we are not friends. It just means I don't agree with what you're saying, and I have no problem saying it. So I think it just, you know, it just became a combination of, you know, factors. Me being the vocal person, people going into maybe things I'd written years before, and then I say a lot has to do with social media and mostly the media agenda.
You've had situations where political parties actually take you on. You've had the NDC take you on. You've had the NPP take you on.
I know. I'm not getting paid for any of this. You know, I'm like, one time, I think during 2016 election, I'm like, I've been accused by both parties, and my bank account is not reflecting. So what's happening?
You are not a foot soldier.
I'm not. I think, okay, so maybe because, going back, my dad is a reverend, my mother is a staunch Christian, but beyond that, I grew up with certain principles, how to treat people with respect. It doesn't matter. My mother is very keen on, you know, my mom.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where you're coming from, you have to treat the person, you know, with respect. So these, you know, values, you know, shaped me. So when I speak on even politics, I'm not even speaking as a politician or someone who even cares about politics. It's just basically, why would you do that? I mean, it's wrong. And that's why people are always trying to guess, are you MPP or NDC? Why must I be either or? Why can't I just say this is wrong and leave it, you know, at that? So a lot has to do with the way I was brought up.
You've survived a lot of attacks, and you come across as
Barely.
this strong person who doesn't care about anything, unapologetic, which we'll talk about later. But are you that kind of person? Are you that strong, carefree, you don't care whatever or things get to you sometimes?
Oh, I'm human. I mean, but I appreciate my support system. I mean, I call you sometimes. I'm not going to support anybody. I won't give my money to anybody in this country. And then you're like, you know what? You're going to do it because that's who you are. Yeah, there are days when I think more than anything, I'm shocked at how people receive things that I say. Because it's never with any malicious intent. It's never for... People actually think that I love trending. But there are days when I go on social media, I'm like I'm trying to... are they writing about me? Ooh, today nobody's talking about me. It's never with any malicious intent. But I think I'm growing in my strength. And I'm also one person who's never ashamed to admit when I'm weak. Because when you show weakness, that's when you find strength, and there are people who reach out to you. So I'm not this tough person who doesn't, you know, care. I don't think any normal human being wants to be talked about negatively, you know. But I do have an amazing support system. My mother, my father, you know, my brothers, my friends. I'm just really blessed. I don't know what I've done. I don't know how I got so lucky. But I have people who make me feel like I am the most important person in the world.
You know, somebody told me that she thinks you are more loved in Nigeria than you are loved in Ghana.
I know people say that a lot. I think it may be, you know, with Nigerians, they're very... I wouldn't say Ghanaians are not honest, but with Nigerians, is what you see is what you get. I think with Ghana, because of how society is framed, we are forced to be very pretentious. So even if you don't like something, you have to pretend you like it because you want people to like you. Ghanaians like to be liked. Nigerians are I don't like that. Move on.
Yeah.
You know, so working with Nigerians, I always felt more comfortable because I could argue with them, and then the next minute it doesn't change the dynamics of our friendship. We just disagreed there. And it's unfortunate. I would want to be loved more in Ghana because I'm a very proud, you know, Ghanaian. But, you know, you always gravitate towards where the love is.
You always gravitate towards where the love is. And talking about love, you just said something that you have very strong support systems, your mother and your father. Growing up, knowing that you're a preacher's daughter, a pastor's daughter, did it affect your way of life in any way?
I think it did in a positive way.
Okay.
Again, I as I grow now, I recognize my privilege that not many people had fathers and mothers like my own. My father's a reverend, but you know, he's probably the most liberal. You know, he, like just last night, he was saying, "Oh, I was surfing the net and reading your tweets." I said, "What are you doing on Twitter?" So I was allowed freedom. And my father always believed in free will.
And there have been situations where your father had to come out to write things and say things in your head.
Yes, I had to. Dad, forgive me, but I had to make the comment hidden because I recognize that, you know, I'm used to their attention. Even my brothers, just last week, I said, I'm so glad my parents, my brothers are not in Ghana. My mother, I can't bring her on social media because she ruined it. She just like, what? You attacked my daughter.
Yeah.
But yeah, my father comes to my defense all the time. And I remember one time he came to wrote this long piece that I just want you to know I'm proud of you. And he says that all the time. Even last night, I'm just so proud of everything you do. And when you hear that, so when they do call me and say I'm wrong, I know it's not from a bad place. I know genuinely he thinks I've gone too far. He's not said that yet, but maybe one day he will say I've gone too far.
But how much does that mean to you? You said, I mean, you it means a lot to you, but how much when you know that your father's got your back?
It means the whole world. And again, as I grow, I do recognize how privileged. I took it for granted. My mother especially. Like, I really took for granted the support my family has always given because I thought it was normal. Oh, you want to be an actress? Sure, go and do that. I thought everybody's household was like my own. Until you go into the world and you realize some people are angry because they never got that, you know, respect. My father's a reverend. You know, people are going to judge him and the things he says because of me. But then he always respects that I'm an adult and he has raised me right to make the right, you know, decisions. And so I've done this thing where now even my grand aunt called me and she just told from nowhere, she said, you know, when people insult you, just know that whatever you're doing, if it's from a good place, that's all that matters. So I've started recording, you know, conversations I have just to play it to myself as, you know, encouragement. I'm just sad that it took me so long to realize the privilege I have to have the family that I have.
Ekwa Lydia, do you know how to cook?
You know, I know how to throw it down.
We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll continue this conversation. I'm trying to decode Lydia Forson, the Lydia Forson. No wonder two of, in fact, some of the movies that I've watched over and over again, each one of them you are inside some. What? Side chick gang, everybody is. And then Isuki. And then there's one that you were a lawyer. I forgot it. I always forget it.
Is it Reflections?
Reflections.
Yes.
You know, and all three, you are kukwa. You certainly don't need that.
No, you see, every time I work with Nigerians, I always say that one thing that used to irk me was watching a Ghanaian with a Nigerian name with an obvious Ghanaian accent. So whenever they cast me, my directors will tell you that it's important for me to sell a Ghana agenda. So I always sit with them and I tell them that realistically, if I'm Nigerian, you have to give a backstory to, you know, why my accent is that way. If you can't give a backstory, please let me pick a Ghanaian name. And you know, they don't know the difference, so I always say Kukwa. I did. If you are not to now, I have to find another name. Because I was like, wait a minute, I've been calling myself Kukwa.
But that's your name, and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's you. And, you know, all these four, I think, how many have I made? 3 or 4?
I think 3 or 4, I think.
I mentioned. All of them, I see a bit of the real you.
Yeah.
In terms of the acting, in terms of the fun, in terms of the wittiness, and, you know, how much do you immerse yourself in your role?
You know, I 100%. But I think I always tell actors that a part of you is always going to show in one way or the other. It might not be who you are, but it's maybe how you may react in that situation. When it comes to comedy, I always say that I want people to walk out of the cinema feeling like they are watching themselves, or with like, it's not acting, this is just how the person, you know, is. So sometimes the characters are very different from who I am, but you see a bit of me in there because I just, that's maybe my brand. I have to spice it up with something, Lydia, for the fans. However, there are some roles you cannot do that. You know, like when I did, you know, KTK, it was very hard to bring myself in there because it was a completely, you know, different person. But when I can, if you bring, you know, some laughter to the fans, why not?
It's okay. This year, no, the part that you were praying, what were you doing?
I said, oh no, Father, this year we must marry. In Jesus' name. They said we should go and marry. We will marry.
Lydia, how was growing up like for you? Did you grow up here in Ghana?
So I grew up here in Ghana, but I spent some years of my childhood in America.
Okay.
And I always say my childhood, you know, whenever I'm talking about my family, I feel bad because people come and sit and talk about, so we're suffering, and then, you know, and I feel like I have to say a story like that.
No,
so
you
that people
don't
like
have to.
me.
You have to own you, tell your story.
But I had the most amazing childhood. The most. I mean, I literally dream of my childhood because it was me, my mom, my brothers. We used to act all the time and we would sing. We have tapes of us rapping and singing. You know,
children?
Yes.
Okay.
Because it was just the 3 of us and we used to move around a lot. So we always just had each other. So even being away from my brothers for this long has been very difficult. Christmas is probably the hardest time of the year for me because I grew up with, you know, Christmas tree, my brothers and presents under the tree. Charlie, now the Christmas will be knocked out. I don't have that anymore, but it was an amazing, you know, and the values, my brothers are some of the kindest people you always, you know, you meet. I didn't know I grew up in a genderless home. I don't think my mother was trying to raise us in a genderless home. And that's what I always talk about, you know, when you talk about feminism. A lot of times we are who we are without the titles. It's the titles that now make us, oh, maybe I didn't know that's what I was doing. Yeah. But in my home, you know, my brothers did the dishes, my brothers can cook. It was never you're a man, you're a woman. I played football. You know,
You played football?
Yeah, I love football.
So you were a tomboy?
I don't even think I was. I think I like dresses, but I like shorts at the same time. There was never a thought process like, okay, maybe I like pink too much or I like blue too much. And my parents never put too much thought into that. Again, when you grow up, then the world starts trying to, you know, box you into these, you know. But with my brothers, we did so much, you know, together. And it was later I realized that was a very genderless, you know, home. I didn't know that.
Growing up, what was your dream? What did you want to be?
Very simple. In all my yearbooks, everybody asks what I say. I want to be rich and famous. And I think it's because, you know, when you're a pastor's child, you move around a lot. So we just had each other. All we used to do was watch TV. And I was just so locked into the world of make-believe. And on TV, I could travel and see the world without passports. So I always say, you know what, I want to make money. And, you know, I want everybody to talk about me. Nowadays, when I think about it, I say, be careful what you wish for.
You know,
because
everybody's talking about you.
This is not how I pictured it. I thought everybody would like me, you know. But I want to be rich and famous because I always wanted money. Because I wanted to do so much for people. Like my friends would tell you, when I have money, everybody knows I have money. I'll go, what are you doing, Charlie? Let's go for lunch. Or I want to fly people here. I want to do that. So I always wanted money because I figured the money would give me access to everything, you know. But as you grow, those things, you know, change. And then reality hits you. When the money is also not coming. You have to change your...
When did acting really start? When did it come in?
I think professionally.
Not professionally,
Professionally, I did my first, people will not even remember this, when I was in secondary school, SS3. They came to do a show in our school and they cast me because I was entertainment prefect. They never showed it on TV.
Why are we always entertainment prefect?
It's something. It's a calling.
You know,
it's a
her father held my hand. In fact, her father made sure I chose Infantiman. And her father took me to Infantiman and also became entertainment prefect.
My father has some influence, maybe. Maybe.
In fact, we have to, you know, we need to have a conversation.
A real conversation. After that series, I'm glad they never came on TV. Hey!
You did things.
Charlie, I was just... The struggle was real. But you know, from there, I always knew I wanted to act. I just love storytelling. So from there, I think in university, my first year in university, I had a good friend of mine, Melvina Frimpong. I always have to mention her name. She was on a show called Hotel St. James, and I wanted to. I wanted to be on TV so bad. But the thing I would never do, and I always tell upcoming actors this, I would never tell anybody, oh, Charlie, I beg, cast me. No, I will see you, and I'll just be your friend, and I'll say, hey, one day, if anything comes up, let me know, but I'll never pressurize you. So the director remembered that I said this when I met him through my friend, and I was in Kaneshi market with my mother going to buy food. I think I was carrying the basket or something, and I got a call, Nokia 33, 10 days, and they said I should come in for an audition. I was like, hey, in my mind it felt like Hollywood. My mom sat down, helped me prepare for the role. It was supposed to be in tree, and I was not too confident in my tree, so I got there and I got the part. I was like, I'm a star. Wow. But it was a good show.
And since then, you haven't looked back?
Since then, I have not looked back.
Are you happy as an actor?
You know what? I love what I do. I absolutely, when I am telling someone's story, it's just like, I always say that for what we do, we are custodians of a people's history. We are storytellers. Through us, many years later, people will know about a part of Ghana they never even knew existed. So I love it. But it's always difficult too, because to be able to do what you do, you need certain things in place. And then you get into the industry young, naive, and excited, and then you realize that, you know, we are still catching up. You're in an industry where people still don't even understand what you do. People still think, like, I've had people tell me that you're too intelligent to be an actress. Like, what are you doing? You're wasting your mind. And that hurts, you know me. So I love what I do, but I hate that I'm in an environment that does not nurture it. Yeah.
Given the chance, you do it all over again?
100%. 100%. I mean, I can't imagine myself doing anything. You know, it's like you, whenever I call you, I tell you that I don't want to speak for women again. I'm tired. And then you say, don't worry. Tomorrow you do it again. Because it's when it's who you are, you can't run away from your calling at all.
Then you started producing your own movies as well. How many movies have you produced?
Honestly, people are surprised when I tell them that my first, because I was scared. So I was always doing co-production, or when I'm on a set, I was okay, you do everything, but I want to handle the creative, process. I did one project on my own solo, and it was like the most difficult thing because I'm such a perfectionist. I went into serious debt, but it was the most amazing, experience. So what I realized is, because of my writing skills, I do more script editing, script supervising, and then, writing scripts for people. That's where I'm more confident. The reality is, as a producer, it's hard without the resources. And I don't know how, no disrespect to other filmmakers, I really don't know how to do anything mediocre. So then I'm going to end up selling half of my hair. And my hair to people don't buy our type of hair. So then the budget will be very low. And I can't do that. But I have something in the works. Yeah.
You keep talking about your brothers.
Yes.
So you are the only, how many brothers do you have?
I have 2 brothers.
And so you are the only girl.
Yay.
They spoil you. What's in your though?
We spoiled each other. Okay, well, they spoiled me a little bit. Let me know you didn't like. My brothers are just, you know, when I tell people that, my brothers make me feel like I'm the most beautiful girl in the world. Like, I'll tell my brother, oh, I've gained weight. Like, you're not big. Have you seen your body? You know, you're so beautiful. My brothers are always saying all these great things. So when I tell people I'm confident, it's really because I really think I am hot. Like, I really believe it, because I've had people telling me that all my life. My brothers are amazing. They cook, they clean. Till date, when I go to my brother in London, first thing in the morning, he's made breakfast, you know, for me. So I've had all these positive male influences in my life. And so I use that as a standard to measure a lot of guys, which is not always fair, but that's just my reality. My brothers really are amazing. They really are.
Now, talking about cooking, and then I asked you, and yes, I know you can, you know.
I throw it down.
I know, right? Now, are you a feminist?
I always tell people that I don't think any woman wakes up one day and says, you know what, I want to be a feminist. I'm yet to hear of any woman saying that. I didn't even know what feminism was. I just, like I was told, the angry people, they never get married. So that was my, you know, thought process. It wasn't until maybe 4 years ago people started calling me feminist. And the truth is, I used to run away from the word. I still, and I own my struggles. I still struggle with it, because I was like, the feminist is not. But then everything I was doing in my action and in my words showed that I was a feminist. But I was have these conversations. I'm like, but the feminist, I don't want anybody. Maybe what if I don't marry? And then people say because I'm a feminist. But I had to wake up and realize that running away from a word doesn't change who you are. And the interesting thing I have learned about feminism is there's always this misconception that it's a foreign thing. That your grandmothers did not have a name for it doesn't mean it did not exist.
Yeah.
I am who I am because I come from a strong line of women, from my grandmothers to my great-grandmother to my mother, who raised us in a genderless home. And she was not fully educated, doesn't know what the word feminist is, but embodies it wholeheartedly. So it's taken me a long time to actually say, well, I always ask people, what's your definition of feminism? And if it's what I agree with, I'll say, yeah, probably I am. But I deliberately ask people that to see where they are going with it. So for me, I'm a feminist. It's not a title I'm going to fight over. But if it's who I am in my deed and action, why not? I refuse to feed into the stereotype by denouncing the word, because that means there's something wrong with the word. And
Lydia Forson, have you had a broken heart before?
Hey, Papa, you to have broken hearts too.
People have broken your heart, you too.
And I broke their hearts. I said, well.
Do me, I do you.
Do you? Of course, I've had broken hearts. Yeah. Hey, the phone there. I really believed in love. I still do. And you learn the hard way that the love you give is not always the love you're going to get. And I don't even regret it. I've learned a lot that as women, society teaches you to give it all. You know, your whole life is shaped around finding a man and keeping a man. And I was not taking care.
At all costs?
At all costs. And I look at the foolishness I endured. I'm like, God, may I never have a daughter so dumb. But it was part of my societal upbringing, not from my parents, from the books I read, from the movies I watched, and what society told me. And so you stay with someone and you know it is terrible, but you're trying to cook your way into his heart. You're trying to wash your way, and I hated it because I'm like, I remember.
So you've washed for a man before?
Oh, use washing machine.
Yeah, okay.
Let's not get too excited. But I'm not going to a guy's house, and I entered as to be me wearing a hand on my bed now. I don't think I can. It was with so much fear, and I realized love is not supposed to feel like that at all. And I'm grateful for going through that, because now more than ever, I know exactly what I want, and I'm the happiest I have been in a very long time because of it.
Because you're in a good place.
I'm in a good place, because you see, you can't love when you don't love yourself, and you can't love when you're not even confident in who you are.
Because
You nearly forgot yourself.
You know, my sponsors will beat me. Well, let me say thank you to my supporters. Go Got Yogurt. Lydia is taking yogurt. You know, as a woman, yogurt is very good for you. And if you want to go for yogurt, it has to be Go Got Yogurt. Awake Purified Mineral Water and Royal Drinks by Casa Preco Company Limited. House of Food. We are so grateful to you. Cake Technique. They always give us something to refresh our guests. Marimat Kitchen and Events. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Your cleaning services make sure that our environment is clean. In Parkes Creative Hub. What are you up to? They will sort you out like nobody's business. You know, branding, packaging, whatever it is. Wedding, engagement, outdooring, funeral. They will sort you out. Thank you to Kodams. Everything gifts. You know, cards, greeting cards, everything they do together. They are at Cowlin. You know, get in touch with them and they will sort it. We take a break. When we come back, we'll go to unapologetic. Yes. Unapologetic. Thick. What that means. These days, you see her, that's all she wears. We'll be back. Decoding. In fact, we are not even 100, you know, but we'll try. Let me say thank you to us for the GTP. Our style is ageless, our pattern limitless, and designs are endless. Our beauty never fades. GTP, timeless, and Ghana Oil Company Limited, Goil, Ahinipa and Casa, Goil, good energy. My cloth is by GTP. This one is new style, and this dress was made for me. The skirt and top was made for me by Ophelia Crossland Designs. So grateful to them. My makeup product by Paba Cosmetics. They are at Laboni and East Legon. They have a branch in Kumasi as well. And then beautifully applied by my makeup artist. It's Nats Beauty Studio. If you want to get in touch with Nats Beauty Studio, you can follow them on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. They're everywhere. Or you can get in touch with me and, you know, I'll link you up with them. Now, Madam Lydia. Lydia. Unapologetic.
Thick.
What's that? Is it a movement that you have started?
It's a movement. It embodies who I am. I think, you know, when you grow up, you have body positivity. The body positivity is a new thing, relatively new thing in Ghana.
Because people have
really caught on to it.
Yeah, and then in the past, people have really insulted you.
Yeah.
That you are plus size.
Yeah. But
did it affect you at a point?
Oh, but their mothers are plus size. So, like, no, the truth is, but the truth is, I never, you know, that's the one area of my life from a very young age I struggled with, because again, what you watch on TV, there's an assumption that you have to look a certain way. I look at pictures of me 10 years ago, I'm like, what was I thinking? But you're hot, you know, you're beautiful. And so if you ask me how this came about, I really don't know. I was just there one day, and about 2015, I wrote a poem. I never published it, but I wrote a poem, and I was I was talking about how I'm unapologetic about who I am. But when I was writing, I wrote unapologetic, and then I was like, let me make it TH. I was like, ooh, I like the way this unapologetic. I was like, well, it combines who I am.
Yeah.
So I just started posting it every time I write. I'm like, this is who I am.
Yeah.
Then I realized other people, you don't understand the importance of representation until someone walks up to you and says, because of you, I now can do this. And people will say role model. I'm like, role model, yeah. Until people will say, you know, I was so ashamed of my body, but because of you, you know, I now wear clothes. I'm more confident who I am. And it's not to say there's anything wrong with slim people. I even did a shirt with Debbie that I was unapologetic for. It's teaching people that we all aspire for perfection. That is who we are as human beings.
Yeah.
But as you strive for it, you have to be proud of who you are. Plus, who you be taste. So I'm just, you know, it's really just embodying who I am and calling people along to just embrace and live without apology. That's it.
Okay. So Lydia, apart from the acting and causing trouble on social media, what else do you do?
Wow.
Do you have a business? Are you writing a book? Are you having a charity?
Writing a book.
Okay.
When it comes to charities, I always, lend myself to several, because it's always hard to pin, 1 minute I'm doing HIV, 1 minute I'm doing child trafficking,
Another you're doing breast cancer.
Breast cancer, I love the shout out to the breast cancer units of Kolebu, doing amazing work. So I lend myself to several charities, and I'm a bit of a hustler on the side too. I own a hair company that we produce hair cream. It's so weird saying that. I've never said that on TV before. I feel so like a big girl.
Of course you're a big girl. I didn't know that.
But yeah, we do that as well.
What's the name?
Kinky Matters.
Kinky Matters,
yes.
Okay.
So Kinky Matters was started in 2013. Started more as a natural hair blog. When I went natural, just teaching people, how to care for their natural hair. And then, we introduced my mother's hair products, which she started making like 20 plus years ago.
Okay.
So we created the company. So we are still ongoing. I do a lot of stuff, on the side, but at its core, I'll always be an entertainer.
Bottom line.
Bottom line.
What's the bigger picture for you? The next 5 years, 10 years?
You asked me this 5 years ago, and I gave an answer, and I'm still going to give the same answer, that I never think too much, because I feel like then you force yourself into this box. A lot of things, I have to say this, a lot of things that have happened to me, I really believe strongly from the bottom of my heart that God directs my path. I never thought that I would be a controversial person. I never thought I would be a person of influence. I never thought that I would talk and have people listen. And a lot of times, like this shirt, it was just the thought. The things I have thought carefully about have never worked. I never thought I would be this controversial actress or a person of influence that people will pay attention to. It all happened by chance, and I really believe it's God. Yeah.
Do you get surprised that bloggers and writers and journalists will actually wake up in the morning and go and find out what Lydia Forson has tweeted about, written on Instagram or Facebook about?
All the time, and I'm having to learn. I used to be very more on social media before because I thought it was all fun. Like, hey, this person is tweeting, let me also tweet her. I have to always remember that it's different for me. Like, someone else who I believe is way more intelligent than me will write a whole piece and nobody will pay attention to it. But I will write just something silly, and people, I don't know what it is. But I have to believe that it's God, because with the hate also comes a lot of love. And it all gives me a platform. Now I have to ask myself what I'm going to do with that platform. So that's why that's why I always lend myself to several charities, because it all can be for nothing. People are insulting me, at least they know my name. So what do I use that, for? But it's fascinating. I want to ask them, what about me? Like, because people are paying for you to write bad things about them. I've never paid you. But God is using them in a weird way. They just don't know.
They're just to push you.
Yeah.
What's your advice to that young lady watching you who wants to be like Lydia Forson, but still worried that, can I stand these attacks? This name calling,
I will say that focus on your intentions. If your intentions are pure, that is the most important thing. If your heart is in the right place, those who matter will understand you. And don't focus on the masses, because you can easily get lost in there. It's important to focus on the people you meet daily and the impact you have on their life. From the woman you buy credit to your co-worker or your friend. They are the people that matter, because they are the ones who tell your story of who you are. So really just focus on good intentions and where your heart is. The rest will take care of itself.
Thank you so much, Lydia. Now, you've been a part of the Standpoint for a very long time. Remember the days where we have to go for walk, begging for one Ghana cedi on the street for the girl child. And today we just want to say that we're proud of you and we appreciate you. So we have this little package for you.
Oh.
Yes. Everything was put together by, it's sponsored by Imparkers.
Oh, I love
Creative Hub.
Thank you.
You can
so
open
much.
and see.
I can open now.
Frida. Yes, open.
It has my name on it.
It has your name on it.
But if
Yes.
I open it,
It's I suspect. Mami show you. And guess in. Me pay him was. Yeah, you push it here. Me pay him was.
Level.
Yeah. Yeah. Open. Let's see what is in there. Let's see if she did something extra special for you. I start being
but
jealous.
I know that I'm not the one going to use this. It's going to be my mom. Ooh, hey, ooh, oh no, I've just not seen.
Yeah,
it's
so you open. It's a mug with a cover.
Ooh, and it has more stuff in here.
It does.
If I tell you this, you won't believe me. I don't have an opener in my house. Honestly, I'm not lying.
And this is a key holder and an opener.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much. But this is my favorite. I know I'm going to give it to my mom. Yeah. She loves tea. Thank you. But I have to say, you have done. I should be giving you something, because when you started this thing, it just. I've watched you for years, not just on TV, as a sister, and I honestly don't know how you do it. And it's you have empowered so many women. And please, I have to say, don't let anybody make you feel you've not done anything. Because empowerment in words alone is powerful. Because of you, millions of people from across Ghana get to learn something. Whereas we would have to go to villages and talk to people, through you, they get to learn in their homes. And what you have done against the resistance and the attacks, I mean, I look at you, I'm like, don't let anybody derail you with their negativity. Because you have done, we have to clap for you, because you
Thank you very, 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 very much. I can't believe it's been 11 years, of the Standpoint. How is it possible? It's been God. It's been God. And thank you for your sisterhood.
As always, your crazy sister.
We'll be back with a bit of me. Listen up, woman. Never ever apologize for who you are. For what you stand for, who you believe in, or what you believe in. I know you've heard it over. Be you, be you. Who are you? First of all, that's where we have to start this conversation. Who are you? Take your time to know who you are. What makes you happy? What makes you sad? What makes you stand up? Who are you? And when you get to that place of knowing who you are, don't apologize. No matter what anybody says. No matter the challenges that come, don't apologize for who you are, because you're unique in your own way. Most of the people who try to bring you down, it's because they're afraid of you, they're jealous, or they want to be like you and they don't know how to be like you. So don't apologize. Be you. Follow your dream. Pursue your purpose. Travel your journey. So yes, everything is going on well with them. So what? Tough. Your time will come too. Things are going on well with you and people are saying because you're succeeding, you're doing it tough. If they are patient enough, their time will come too. There are seasons, there are times and seasons. Obian in the movement. Don't let anybody push you out of your zone. Stay focused. Stay focused, woman. Once you know, you're sure of what you're doing. Stay, and sometimes even if you don't know about it, you're not sure about it, but you feel deep down, women, we have that thing, that inner feeling, that conviction that comes in so many ways. Just keep going, keep looking. If you don't succeed, so what? You try again. You'll never know if you don't try. It's a risk. Even drinking water is a risk you take. So girl, let's keep moving. Let us keep moving. No going back, no looking back. Stay focused, one step at a time. Okay? One step at a time. It's not easy, and it's not going to be easy, but we'll get there. One day, we will get there. You have the power. It's within you. In tree, there's something. I say that you have the power. There's a difference between you holding power and having the power. When you have it, it is yours. When you're holding it, anybody can take it. It's not yours. It's like a political appointment. It can be taken from you any day. But when you are you, it's in there. In a can they say, "Uwo to me." That is different from "ukra to me." You have the power. Rockets like never before. Because girl, you are beautiful. You are powerful. And you were made in a special way. You were different from everybody else. Hey, I'm a woman with super crazy faith in God. I know that He's ordered my path. I know that though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil because He is with me. I know He's giving me wisdom. So I must make that conscious effort to apply that wisdom. Thanks for watching. See you same time next week. Bye for now.